I'm caps lock different. It's facts, not fiction. Said I black out for real, then the track gone missing. If it's cap, I'm dipping. We ain't talking about a move, then it's flatline finished. When I spaz, I'm grinning. Put a peel off in the Sadies and I pass by spinning. It's perks with this life, but I don't have my skinach. Took a quick trip and now I'm back home winning. And I see they eyes pop like I snack on spinach. Pull up to the spot, she tryna grab my digits. I'm already 8 shots, a Henny past my limit. Here you go. Hazards with a dash full of tickets. I'ma act like I don't see them. I got bad eye vision. Y'all can't pass my scrimmage. While y'all tripping, it's Aruba. I realized I had to go and flip the...
What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 174 of Psychotic and Iconic. Paul's here along with my co-hosts Nick Theories and Philly Phil. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in to the live stream tonight. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and share it. Thank you to everybody that likes, follows, and subscribes to all of our platforms. What's up, brother?
What's going on, man?
We back.
As you can see, everybody, we rearranged the studio. We're trying to make it look fucking fire for you guys. Shout out to Philly Phil Designs on Etsy. Check them out. Look at all these logos. Look at all these sick ass logos. Official shit. Beautiful colors. Everything. So
don't show my wall because I got bum ass Daniel Jones, bum ass Justin Fields, Desmond Ritter. I mean, he's kind of cheeks, but whatever. Bryce Young, Kyler Murray, who stinks, been saying it for a long time. The corny ass 49ers, almost said a non-politically correct word there. That star, I'm struggling over here. The designs are amazing.
that star's 2-0 though.
It is, but like that's not my team.
Bro, I got the Texans logo staring at me. I got the overrated Chargers and my Super Bowl pick staring at me, looking at me in the face. I got Lamar Jackson. He's okay.
2-0.
I got Mac Jones. I rock with. I got Tannehill.
Would you ride him?
And I got the disaster Colts and the disaster Broncos.
Oh, you do got Russ behind you.
So come on, I got Russ.
Yeah,
but he's way
tough.
behind me though. I pause. But yeah.
Huh?
Let's move on.
Let's
move on, okay?
Let's start this show. So we're going to start off this week with some fantasy. I am not going to talk about my game against Broads. Was on the phone with the suicide hotline till about 3 a.m. It was a painful loss.
Yeah, man, that was some brutal shit.
It's okay though.
It is okay. You just got to move on, man. I know it's like tough sledding, and 0-2 does sting. But you have a good team, though. You're constructed properly. I think you'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm not.
You score 120 a week. If you score 120 a week, mathematics say you're going to be in almost every single game and on the good side.
Yeah, and luckily, I play bum ass Ant, so it's like
I just whacked his ass.
Yeah,
I had to. Sorry, Ant.
Yeah.
But
you FHA and
I had to do the intro on Ant.
Yeah,
I'm caps lock different.
That's what it was.
That's not fiction. That's all it was.
Yeah,
it was no disrespect. It's just. I had to arrive differently after week 1, so yeah.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line. All right, give me your fantasy freak of the week.
Puka Nacua, 15 catches on 20 targets. He's a 5th round pick. This guy is a beast. He's awesome. He ain't going nowhere when Cooper Kupp comes back. That's a fact. And if anything, the Rams, man, I was wrong about them. I was so damn wrong because I didn't see a guy like this stepping up for him. But man, 20 targets.
This is a 3 or 4 win team.
I thought it was just a 3 or 4 win team. This team looks pretty good. They look like they hung in with the Niners. So look, credit to him. He's been awesome, man. 20 targets. What are you going to say? That's like 3 players in fantasy in one.
I know. It's unbelievable. I knew you were going to say him. I was going to say him too because that was the easy one. But I'm going with Kirk Cousins. 31 of 44, 364 yards, 4 touchdowns. He had 37 points.
Yeah, he balled out. Against the Birds, too.
Kirk Cousins was awesome.
Yeah.
He really was. Like,
he was.
I mean, he was. Look, I know he had a fumble and he lost it, but he was pretty lights out. Like, he tore them up.
Yeah, but look, everybody says, oh, yeah, he fumbled and shit. But if you actually watch the play, what was he supposed to do?
Correct.
He got blindsided in the back, and it's like, all right, well, I didn't see him coming. And literally, the guy was there. Josh Sweat was there within milliseconds. He was there within the split of the snap, so he couldn't do nothing with that. So
that's why I didn't really hold him against him.
No, you can't.
Who's your geek of the week?
Oh my God, can we stop talking about this guy too? Kyle Pitts. This guy is super ass. All right, like let's say it. This guy's supposed to be a transcendent tight end. He was supposed to be the next Gronk, the next Antonio Gates, the next blah blah blah, the next Kelsey. He ain't shit, yo. What has he done? Like he is literally not productive. He had 5 targets, 2 catches, and 15 yards. Mind you, in week 1, he had 3 targets, 2 catches for 44 yards. So you're telling me a transcendent tight end has 5 catches for 59 yards? Or I'm sorry, 4 catches for 59 yards? Somebody has to explain this to me.
You want to know the truth about Kyle Pitts? He's a waiver wire tight end.
He's a waiver wire tight end.
He really
Absolutely.
is. He's a
I
waiver wire tight end.
I don't disagree with that.
He doesn't need to be rostered.
I know. And what's crazy is I actually kind of liked them this year in fantasy, weirdly, because I felt like, Atlanta kind of upgraded their offense. And I was like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's going to get, the target share along with Drake London. I thought, Ritter would be a little bit better. Ritter is some shit. So it's you know what I mean? So like, it's just a bad combination, man. But yeah, I'd be concerned if I was a Kyle Pitts owner, dude. He's really bad.
Yeah, we're in a 14-team league, and he's a waiver wire player. He's not draftable in 10 or 12-team leagues.
I probably would start Luke Musgrave over him.
100% because Jordan Love looks like he can play.
He's a baller.
He really is. My geek of the week was Breece Hall. 4 carries for 9 yards.
Yeah.
2 targets, no receptions.
Mm-hmm.
I know Dallas's defense is good, but bro,
they're damn good, bro.
4 carries for 9 yards.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was game script too. The way Dallas was playing defense, they got ahead.
But the game was close in the beginning.
It was, but then the game got away from them after the turnover.
But in the first half, they were playing
catch up.
I'm just saying, like in the first half, you get 4 carries.
Mm-hmm.
Breece Hall is supposed to be elite.
Yeah, I know. It's fantasy's been weird this year. I'll be honest with you, man. Like even like the past stars, Dalvin Cooks of the world, they're washed.
He was a geek too. Dalvin Cook is washed.
Yeah, that signing to me was just a veteran presence.
I don't even know. Like what's the weirdest thing about the Dalvin Cook signing? Dalvin Cook was holding out to get money, like the best situation and money, and it's like, why?
I don't know.
I mean, look, I get it. You want to get paid, but you're not worth shit.
Well, at that point, he's selling his name more than what he can produce.
I'd rather have Kenneth Gainwell.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
I would take Kenny Gainwell over Dalvin Cook, bro. Dalvin Cook does look terrible. We talked about this after week 1. I said
he actually looked really bad.
Every time Dalvin Cook got on the field, I'm like, yo, get him off the field and put Breece Hall in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, look, I know Breece Hall did bad last week, but I'm just saying
But Breece is going to be the guy in the middle of the season, though. Like
it's not even a question.
He's taking over that backfield at some point in time. I don't know when that's going to be, but I would say probably towards week 6.
Yeah,
as soon as he gets starting, to get healthy, probably like mid-October, I think he's going to take over that backfield where he's going to get 20 touches a game.
100%, because it's like I said, Dalvin Cook is he's washed up.
Now look,
it is what it is.
Cook ain't going to go anywhere. Like Cook's going to get probably 5 to 8 touches a game. Like I think he's still going to be, there. But Breece Hall is going to take over his backfield in fantasy, and that's how I see it.
Speaking of washed up, I considered retirement from Psychotic-Iconic after I watched the Bears and Buccaneers game. I think the worst take I've had on this show in 2.5 years was that I would take Justin Fields over Derek Carr because I was betting on his athleticism. The more I watch Justin Fields, the more convinced I am that he's going to be the most athletic T-Mobile worker of all time. He is an embarrassment.
Yeah.
He's an embarrassment. I want to read off some stats. Justin Fields has started 27 games so far in the NFL. He's 5-22. The Bears are on a 12-game losing streak. He's been sacked 101 times, and that's not because his O-line is trash. It's because he's holding on to the ball too long.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying about a stat where he has 4 seconds to throw the ball.
Yeah.
It's just, he's a joke. His completion percentage is less than 60%. He's thrown 26 touchdowns to 24 interceptions. He's fumbled 31 times and lost 8 of them. And he's averaging 156 yards per game. What else needs to be said about Justin Fields? The Bears will be drafting a quarterback next year because they're going to have 2 top 10 picks with the Panthers first rounder. You going to talk?
Yeah, I thought you were still going. I was intrigued by what you were saying. I was buying into this. I'm like, yeah, this is great. This is exactly what I thought we were going to talk about this season. I knew this was going to happen with Justin Fields. There was no proof of him sitting in the pocket and delivering the football. And then now he gets a wide receiver 1 and you expect it to happen. Okay, well, first off, he's got to be able to see the play opening up. He's got to be able to read the defense. If he's unable to do that, your wide receiver means nothing. He doesn't mean anything. So for me, it's like I'm not surprised by this whole Justin Fields shit, man. I'm just really, really not. This is the regular shit that you're gonna get from him. He's not a good quarterback. He's not a good quarterback. And I told you guys last week I would take Mac Jones over Justin Fields. I don't mince my words. I don't give a fuck what you guys got to say. I don't care what the media's got to say. Mac Jones is a better quarterback than Justin Fields.
Absolutely.
He's more accurate. He knows how to read a defense. He's decisive with his decision making. He doesn't make turnovers. Like, he is a way better quarterback than Justin Fields. And I never saw the hype with Fields, and I don't get it. Like, I know he's athletic. I know he can make all the ESPN plays, but that's what he plays for. Like, that's what he is. He's a highlight reel quarterback, because Justin Fields can go 50 yards and he can run a touchdown. Like that's his capabilities. But it's just he has a flashy game, whereas Mac Jones doesn't, and that's why Mac Jones doesn't get the proper respect.
We talked about this and we were saying, with the Bears playing the Buccaneers, like how funny and you were saying like he needs to win this game for all the shit that Baker Mayfield gets just over his last 2 years of his career, or even 3. Cause when you go back to like with the Browns and stuff, cause I know last year was a disaster.
Yeah.
And the Rams was a little bit better, but you put up 17 points and lose by 10 points to Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers. A Baker Mayfield who everybody has written off aside from me, and I don't know who else. That everybody just thinks Baker Mayfield is terrible. Baker Mayfield's been playing okay.
He's been playing damn good. Hey, Philly Phil, I sent you an image, and I need you to pull this up. And this is what Pollard was talking about. Powell's, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
For what?
This is what you were talking about the 101 sacks, and not all of them are his fault. I mean, all of them are the offensive line's fault.
No, they're not.
And you make a great point.
Where'd you send
So I sent it to the live show.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's in a live show. Just bear with us, audience.
Oh yeah.
This is a clip right here. This is a still image of a play that resulted in a sack. A sack.
Now look at this.
This guy's wide open.
And Nick, you know what the worst part about this is? I'm sorry to cut you off.
He's looking right at him.
And Nick, that's number one. And number two, if you look at the high safety, his body's already opened up to the right side of the field.
Correct.
So he doesn't even have to throw a dart there. All he has to do is lob that up. Me, you, and Phil could have completed that.
He has the linebacker creeping there, and so I understand.
But you could throw that right over him. He's on the 5.
You could throw it right over him. But what I would do is you got to shuffle your feet to open up that window to create the opportunity there. But if you stand still and allow the pocket to collapse, that's your fault. You have a window of opportunity to slide over to the pocket, create a window, and dart it in there, because that corner is committed to the outside wide receiver. Yeah. He's not committed to the slot. This guy's roaming free. So the only person that's blocking his play is the linebacker
and Justin Fields.
And also he's not a good quarterback, man. Yeah, that's just the bottom line. And I can't believe that play resulted in a sack. Like, that's bad for your team. You're in the red zone.
And not for nothing, you don't think that Eberflus and those guys and those coaches are showing that in the film room?
Absolutely.
That's embarrassing.
And they should be roasting him for that.
That's what I'm saying. That's embarrassing. You're a professional quarterback and you got sacked on that play. I would blow that image up and put it in front of his locker.
He missed dinner for this.
Yeah, he missed it. And I told you from that moment. When he said, I can't go to dinner with my family because I have to study my playbook. That's what I'm saying. I would hate to see how bad he looks if he went to dinner and didn't study that night.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like so far my prediction's coming true with Justin Fields. I think the Bears are moving on next year.
It's not even a question.
And I said that a year ago. I said, if Justin Fields shits the bed next year, the Bears are going to be moving on soon.
Listen, look, dude.
I swear by that. He's just not it, man. And the Bears, you did all that in free agency. There was a lot of buzz, a lot of hype, a lot of training camp buzz.
Nick.
Oh my God, there's so much energy around this team. And you guys are 0-2. And you're not even 0-2. You're getting your ass whooped.
Nick, I don't see them winning a game until there's not a game on their schedule that they can win until November 9th. Listen to this. I was checking this out earlier. They play the Chiefs this week. Then they play the Broncos. Now, look, I know the Broncos are some ass too, but Sean Payton, it's a coaching mismatch.
Yeah, I agree.
Russell Wilson should win that game, even though Russell Wilson blows.
Totally agree.
Then you got the Commanders. Their defense is good. Yep. Sam Howell looks all right.
Yep.
Then you got the Vikings. I know the Vikings don't look good right now, but the Vikings are better than the Bears.
Yes.
Then they got the Raiders, better than expected. And I got news for you. Whether it's Jimmy G or Aiden O'Connell, both of them look better than Justin Fields as a quarterback. And you still got Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, and Josh Jacobs.
Yep.
Then you have the Chargers. Then you have the Saints. Then you have the Panthers. That game is winnable. Then it's the Lions, the Vikings again, the Lions, the Browns, the Cardinals, the Falcons, and the Packers. This has 2-15 written all over it.
It has Caleb Williams written all over it too. But you know what's the sick part is like every GM out there that is a bottom 5 team this year, and you have a top 5 pick, and Justin Fields is being dangled in your face like a carrot. Please do not bite.
No, he's a backup.
Do not trade your number 1 pick, your first round pick, to go get Justin Fields. Do not do that. What you see in Chicago is what you're going to continue to see, regardless of anywhere he's at. He's just an athlete. He's just not good in the pocket, and he hasn't been in his career. The stats that he rattled off earlier says everything that I need to know. He has 0 300-yard passing games. CJ Stroud played 2 games and has more 300 yards passing games than Justin Fields.
That's so embarrassing.
In 2 games. Justin Fields played 27 games and doesn't have a 300-yard game. But a rookie on the Texans, by the way, had a 300-yard game.
Hey, not for nothing.
On the Texans. I don't want to hear, oh, well, he's on the shitty Bears. They haven't been good, blah, blah, blah. Stop it. Stop the nonsense.
I'm sorry. DJ Moore's a 1,000-yard wide receiver. You're playing with, you got a rookie with a defensive head coach throwing to Robert Woods and Tank Dell.
Right.
If you put Justin Fields on the Texans, they're worse.
And Dameon Pierce, who's literally not even running the ball.
Yeah, he's non-existent.
He's literally non-existent.
Which is a little odd.
And you know what? Nico Collins is looking pretty good.
I forgot about Nico. Nico Collins is pretty good.
He's looking pretty good.
He's a big wide receiver.
Yeah. But he's throwing him the ball. He's getting open. He's doing something right.
He's playing quarterback.
He's doing something right where he's getting his players the football.
For real.
Like DJ Moore, what's he doing?
Look, I think he had like 16 points last week, but for fantasy purposes, that's good. But they're not impactful.
They're not impactful stats.
What did it do for you?
Nothing.
If DJ Moore has 95 yards and Justin Fields throws for 155, that's a problem.
It's well documented. I have never been a fan of this guy.
Yeah.
I haven't, man. I just know, like,
what's even crazier is I said this when we were talking about our MVP picks. Last year, Zach Wilson was the most bet MVP of the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
And look how that turned out.
Yeah.
And I referenced that with Justin Fields when they were saying that he was being the most bet MVP this year. And I'm like, it's Zach Wilson 2.0.
Who is that idiot that compared Jalen Hurts to Justin Fields?
Oh, James Jones. Oh my God. I actually got to go see if there was anything about that. If anything was mentioned on that, on Twitter today. I want to see that because
did he get fired?
No, he should.
He should, right?
That's a fireable offense.
That's a fireable offense.
And he was saying he has more arm talent. Oh. It's disrespectful to compare Jalen Hurts to Justin Fields because look who Jalen Hurts is throwing to. On Jalen Hurts' worst day, Justin Fields isn't in the same stadium.
It's not even close.
I want to whatchamacallit. We were just talking about Zach Wilson. Aaron Rodgers mentioned
the transition king.
What?
The transition king.
Come on, fam.
That's what you are, bro. You pod.
A little bit. Aaron Rodgers said that he could return mid-January. He was saying to Pat McAfee, he was saying that he could return in mid-January because they did an innovative surgery where they bridged the Achilles that could have him back in time for the playoffs. What's your thoughts on that?
No shot.
Cam Akers came back in 5 months.
No shot. Not in football shape. You're not into the game. Like, you got to be playing quarterback. And not for nothing, if the Jets make it that far, which they're not going to make it that far, why would you turn your cheek to the quarterback that got you that far?
Damn.
You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Now, that was my first thing that I was going to say. If the Jets are playing in January, you can't at that point bench Zach Wilson.
Correct.
It doesn't make any sense for what you invested in him, number one. And number two, his confidence would be at an all-time high if he got that team to the playoffs in a loaded AFC.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really make any sense. But Zach Wilson's not the answer.
Mm-mm.
And now look, I think he looked worse than he actually is because he was playing the Dallas defense. But Zach Wilson is going to be a backup next year to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
And
No
that's just
doubt.
the bottom line. He just doesn't have it.
I don't think it's a good idea if he wants to return on mid-January, though. I don't think it's a good idea.
I mean, I guess it would all depend. I don't know. They said he did an innovative surgery.
Unless he wasn't like, if he comes back in mid-January, he's not going to start. Maybe he comes back to the team and he's a backup for the rest of the season, just in case they need him.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't.
But
I
then
just thought
again,
it was odd.
But then again, why would you risk that? Would you risk that? I would just go get healthy for the rest of the season, and I guarantee you that's what happens. This ain't going to happen.
No, well, here's the thing: the Jets aren't going to be playing in January.
I know, it's just so arrogant to say that because like it's just like, oh yeah, I can return mid-January, like expecting like them to go that far. Like,
No, that's belief in his team. You didn't find it arrogant when Adam Thielen said they're going to the Super Bowl.
no, I didn't
Speak
find it
on
arrogant.
it.
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying is like realistically, like you want to return in mid-January, but what are you returning for? You're returning to play quarterback for this team. Like, are you really going to take the moment away from Zach Wilson? There's some arrogance there to that. Yeah, absolutely. Like, oh yeah, I'm way better. I'm better than Zach Wilson, regardless of a blown Achilles. Like, yeah, I mean, whatever.
Well, I would take Aaron Rodgers on a blown Achilles before I would take Zach Wilson right now.
But not if Zach Wilson got you to January.
No, I agree.
So that at that point, I'm projecting him to play pretty well if they're playing in mid-January. So at that point, I'm not doing that. If that makes sense. So yeah, there's some. There's some
I
arrogance
agree.
there.
Yeah, no, I do agree there. It was just a weird comment because it was like, I don't even think he believes the Jets are going to be playing in mid-January. Like, I know they beat the Bills, but Josh Allen was terrible. It was one of those games.
Yeah.
It was just one of those games. And that was evident by what Josh Allen did against the Raiders.
Yeah.
Even though the Raiders defense is far less talented than the Jets.
I'm happy you got to experience a good at Josh Allen though, because you have him on your fantasy team, and I was like, man, I hope he does him well.
I will say this.
If you want to trade him, bro, I'm always open. You know.
Nah, my ship's getting ready to turn around. Huh?
Whoa. That was a major ball.
Now, I want to talk about a team that will be playing in January and in February. So the Eagles escaped the Vikings 34-28. The big storyline was that Hurts and A.J. Brown got into a spat on the sideline. Do you think it's something or nothing? Because I don't think it's anything, to be honest. Jalen Hurts is the godfather to A.J. Brown's kid. Like, they're the best of friends, dude. That would be like, that's like me and you arguing on here and people thinking that when it's over, we sit on the couch and argue.
So why do we make a big deal about Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs?
Because Josh Allen it looked worse. Josh Allen was sitting down and Stephon Diggs was actually screaming at him.
Right. But A.J. Brown was he was pretty pissed off to the point where Sirianni had to kind of step in and be kind of like separate the guys a little bit to a degree.
Also, the relationship matters.
Sure it does. But how do you know that Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen aren't best friends?
But A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts are like family, dude.
How do you know that Josh Allen don't view him as family and vice versa? I'm just saying, I'm looking at the optics here. I'm just trying to be fair.
No. I'm with you.
I'm just trying to be fair. I'm not trying to be like
I think this
an
is
asshole.
you. I think this is you grasping at straws.
Could be. It could be. But to me, like, I feel like when I look at Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, I think their relationship's awesome. They have like an awesome handshake together. They hang out in the off season. They do all that fun shit. Like, I don't see any animosity towards there. I think people overblown that story because the Bills were a hot topic, especially with the Damar Hamlin thing.
Well, all the shit carried into the summer.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, true. Absolutely.
All that stuff. I think here's the thing. If they never had the beef in the summer with Stephon Diggs never reporting and they were always talking about it, I don't think it would have been as big as it got coming into this year.
Yeah, but why didn't he report though? Did it ever come out? He could have just take a family leave. He could have been on vacation. Like that does happen because Brady didn't come to camp for a couple.
Here's the thing though. Sean McDermott went in his presser and said he has no idea why Stephon Diggs isn't here.
Oh.
That doesn't spell too well. When A.J. Brown was leaving the field the other night, he patted his chest and was like, "My bad," and waved to the fans. He took ownership right away.
Yeah, no, I actually didn't see that part.
So what, the A.J. Brown?
The ownership part? I didn't know.
A.J. Brown was running into the tunnel and he just like patted his chest and put his arm up.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that. But to me, it's
A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts did this last season.
I know, but to me, it's like it's not needed, bro. Like I
agree.
They were up by like what 11 at that point.
I don't honestly, dude. I don't even know.
They were up 24. It was 27-7. They were up by 20 points. Or no, I'm sorry, it was 27-14. They were up by 13. Like, yo, you're up by 13 points. Like, you're not the 14-point score on team scorer. You're winning the game by 13 points.
Yeah.
Like, to me, like it just wasn't needed. If you had like something that you want to go over, sit down and be like, yo, man, I think I'm open here. Can you just hit me here? I think we can make this happen, blah, blah, blah. But like, you don't have to get pissed off. It's because you didn't get targets. I mean, like, I understand like you want the ball, but like when your team's winning, to me, it's just not needed. Because at that point, you're just doing your part and your team's doing it, as a collective to win the football game regardless.
Yeah.
Whatever, like AJ Brown's going to put up his stats regardless of the season. It's just that game, it didn't go his way in terms of the game script. And that's okay. But my point is you're up 13 points. So it's like, what am I complaining for? We're winning.
Yeah.
Isn't that the point of the game?
No, I totally agree on that. And it's, I don't think AJ Brown's a diva and I don't want him to turn into that, but that, who knows? Who knows? We will see. Because here's the thing. Here's the flip side of it. Could it be diva stuff where he's getting jealous that Devontae Smith is balling like that?
Could be. It could be.
Because Devontae Smith right now is the one.
He's looking like it. He's looking like the real Batman.
He is. Yeah. And I know last year that was a joke, a running joke. But sometimes when there's egos involved and your ego's fragile, that can lead to problems. Now, I don't think it will lead to that.
I don't think so either.
I'm just saying when you're looking at it from all angles, I hope that's not the case. But right now, I mean, Devontae Smith looks.
He's been awesome.
He looks like 1A.
Yeah.
To 1B.
I don't know. I'm going to say nothing for now, but to me, that's not needed.
I'm saying nothing too, obviously. Are you encouraged or discouraged by the state of the Eagles overall?
I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of discouraged. I know they're 2-0, which is great. Like you're struggling and you're 2-0. So like everything in life is good. But when you actually like, if you're going to play the Chiefs, if you're going to play like a top tier team, like you got to be ready. You can't make these mistakes that the Eagles are making. And their offense to me just looks like it's sputtering at moments. It doesn't look like Jalen Hurts has that same burst as he had last year. I don't know. Is it me? Or does he not have enough space, enough time? I don't know. He looks off to me. And Devontae Smith looks great. Dallas Goedert, I don't know what his usage is.
Slim to none.
2-yard slant passes. He's a guy that you can put him on a post route and he's going to dominate the linebacker because of his height and his athletic ability. So they're just misusing Dallas Goedert all in general. And AJ Brown, he's going to get his. So to me, DeAndre Swift, he was the bright spot in this game. And to me, without him, I don't think they would have won this game.
Agreed. No, I totally agree. I'm actually encouraged by the Eagles because we're 2-0. We haven't played our best game. And it's like, to me, I feel like it's gotten with the Eagles. They have exceeded so many expectations and they're so good that now, unless they play a perfect game and win, everybody's looking to pinpoint and nitpick at little shit. That's how I feel.
I don't think
and not for nothing, with these wins that they're getting, these are good wins to get in the beginning of the season.
Oh, absolutely.
Getting through adversity, going through mishaps, things like that. It'll come together. You got to remember, there's a new offensive coordinator.
Right. And
as far as the defense getting banged up, we were missing James Bradbury last week.
Right.
James Bradbury is a top 10 corner. So it's like, you know what I mean? And we were missing Reed Blankenship.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, you know what I mean? You just take it with it. But that's how I feel. I feel like the Eagles have had so much success recently that they're just in the state now where unless they dominate the game, people are just going to be nitpicking.
Well, rightfully so, though. I mean, you're projected to win the Super Bowl. Like that comes with the expectations.
It comes with the territory.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, all right, the Patriots game. Like now that we saw the Patriots play against the Dolphins, you could say that's a respectful win because I think the Patriots played damn good against the Dolphins. And then the Vikings, to me, I think they could have won by more than 6.
Oh yeah,
they definitely let the Vikings hang in the game. But also like that fumble changed the whole dynamic of that game.
Same thing.
Honestly, with Justin Jefferson fumbling and he was ruled touchback. Those are the moments where you could look back and be like, damn, like if he would have scored, the Vikings may have won this game.
Think about this.
So I'm like, that's where I'm like discouraged because it's like a Vikings coming to Philly. We should dominate them.
Agreed.
And we did for the most part. We dominated them the entire game, but it wasn't to the point where it reflected on the scoreboard. And that's what's discouraging.
And you know how you were talking about momentum? That reminds me of what happened Sunday night, Dallas Giants. Giants went right down the field, had that fumble, and it was over from there.
It was curtains.
And they never recovered. They didn't even recover against the Cardinals until the second half.
It was curtains after that. Yep.
Speaking of curtains, we're gonna go through about 4 teams here that are 0-2.
Yeah.
The first team, this is amazing. The Broncos are 0-2. The Patriots are 0-2. The Bengals are 0-2, and the Chargers. Which team out of those 4 do you think has the best to turn it around?
I'm gonna go with the Chargers because I just think that they have way too much talent, and I was way off the Bengals in general this year.
Yep.
And I think it's going to take some time for them to click because they are way off.
Who?
The Bengals.
We're going to get there.
They're way off. So the Patriots, their schedule is very brutal, so I don't expect them to result in wins. And the Broncos are just their ass, bro. So to me, it's the Chargers.
I'm actually with you on that. And here's the thing with the Bengals, Joe Burrow hurt his calf again.
Yeah.
It's what's crazy? Everybody was making fun of Jamar Chase for telling Joe Burrow to sit out 4 or 5 weeks. Now, look, the season may have been over by then because if you're 0-4 or 1-3, but at this point, it kind of looks like Jamar Chase was right on the money.
Could have been, yeah.
Because there's no way Joe Burrow is as bad as he's played the last 2 weeks.
He looks
lost.
Shit.
And now here's the thing: Joe Burrow was 1-7 in the first 2 games of the season in his career. So he starts slow, but this isn't what's going on with Joe Burrow isn't starting slow.
No. This is beyond starting slow.
Joe Burrow and even Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase looks like a regular ass wide receiver, and he's a stud. He's a top 5 wide receiver.
I mean, look, Baker Mayfield's playing better than Joe Burrow. That's a fact.
It is.
It's a fact.
That's a concerning fact.
Mac Jones is playing better than Joe Burrow. That's a fact.
One quarterback that's not playing better than Joe Burrow is Russell Wilson.
And probably Fields.
Yeah. Russell Wilson blew a 21-3 lead to Sam Howell.
Now 21.
He didn't do anything for him.
He didn't do shit.
Man, this made me so happy. You know who else that makes me happy for? Eric Bieniemy.
It makes me happy for myself because I said Sam Howell was going to be really good, and I just love this.
I just love to watch Russell Wilson and Sean Payton suffer together. Just watching those two blow that lead.
You hate them so much.
I've never liked Sean Payton because I think he's smug. I don't like his antics. I don't like what Sean Payton's about. And I think Sean Payton is mad overrated. Sean Payton and Mike McCarthy have the same resume. And only Mike McCarthy gets shit talked about him. Sean Payton is glorified. They both have 1 Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
1 Super Bowl appearance. And not for nothing, Aaron Rodgers had 2 MVPs with Mike McCarthy. How many Drew Brees got? So let's speak on it. Sean Payton's overrated. In fairness,
Brees should have won a couple MVPs.
He should have. But that's a different argument. I don't know how he never won one, but that's a different discussion.
Popularity contest, and plus the record speaks for itself too.
Yeah. And then so that was my Sean Payton beef. And then Russ.
Oh my God.
Do you still think they could be a sneaky team?
I never thought that. I was asking you.
Oh, you wanted me to speak on it.
I wanted you to speak on it.
My bad.
Yeah. Don't ever put me in the conversation with the Broncos, bro. I was way off them.
They will not be a sneaky team this year. They will not be relevant. The Broncos stink. They stink. Russell Wilson stinks. And that's just the bottom line. It's over for him. And I said this, I don't know if I said it at the end of last season. I think I did. Or when we were talking about it in the summer, when we were going over that, when you wanted me to speak on it. Russell Wilson legacy needs to be careful because he's going to play himself out of a Hall of Fame spot.
He is.
Because his reputation took such a nosedive. And now you're seeing Pete Carroll, who just went into the Lions home opener and beat one of the best teams in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
Without 2 offensive linemen.
Yeah.
And he's letting Geno cook. Russell Wilson has just fallen off a cliff beyond belief.
You know what? We're going to have in week 4, we're going to know a lot about Justin Fields and Russell Wilson because they play against each other.
The battle of the buttest.
It's in Chicago. And look, life don't get any easier for the Broncos. They play the Dolphins next week in Miami at 1:00. It's going to be hot as fuck there. All right.
The Broncos, their schedule gets tough at the end of the year. Look at the Broncos schedule. We could go over it real fast because if these were the games in the beginning of the season that people were banking on them winning, and they're just not because
they're not that good.
They have a washed up quarterback.
Yeah.
And so they play the Dolphins, then they play the Bears, the Jets. That's the Jets Super Bowl with Nathaniel Hackett, albeit Zach Wilson.
That's true. That's a great point. I actually forgot about
But you don't think that Robert Saleh, after what Sean Payton said, isn't going to have that team ready to play at Denver?
The Jets are winning that game.
Then they play the Chiefs. Then they play the Packers. Then they play the Chiefs. Then they play the Bills. Then it's the Vikings, the Browns, the Texans, the Chargers, the Lions, the Patriots, the Chargers, the Raiders.
And that Texans game ain't going to be easy for them either, because I think the Broncos are just in the same category.
And
they got a glorified quarterback that's washed up, and they have a glorified head coach that hasn't won shit in forever.
And DeMeco Ryans knows the Broncos. He was the defensive coordinator for the 49ers.
Yep.
He played them twice a year for the last few years.
And then the Raiders game, the last game of the season, I mean, we don't have any proof they could beat the Raiders. The Raiders beat them week 1.
The Raiders are better.
They are better.
And Jimmy G is better than Russell Wilson right now. And there's nothing anybody could say to me. I don't care what stat you bring up. I don't care what analytic you see. Jimmy G is better than Russell Wilson right now today.
And Baker Mayfield?
Baker Mayfield, I would take Baker Mayfield over Russell Wilson.
Me too.
Baker Mayfield's you see Baker Mayfield on the sideline, pumping up his teammates, excuse me, pumping up his teammates. You see Baker Mayfield diving for first downs, talking shit. You see Baker Mayfield actually looks like he's in command of the offense.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield looks how he did in Cleveland.
He looks comfortable.
He does. And Baker Mayfield doesn't have the starting center.
Right.
He lost him for the year.
Yep.
It's hard to overcome that. That's an important position. You saw what happened to Tom Brady last year.
It's tough.
It's not easy, but Baker Mayfield's playing well.
He's playing well enough to go 2-0.
And right now, present day, Baker Mayfield's better than Russell Wilson. Yep. I would take Baker Mayfield moving forward before I would take Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is, Sean Payton said it, too worried about his image. He doesn't want to run. It is what it is with him, man.
He's had a better start this year than he had last year, though. I will say that about Russell Wilson.
But there's no the moxie's gone.
Like he threw for 308 yards, 3 touchdowns, and stuff like that. But one of the touchdowns was like a 50-yard Hail Mary.
That doesn't even count. I don't even count that, bro.
Right,
he threw for 250 and 2 touchdowns.
Right. But what's concerning about me was his completion percentage, like 56%.
That's Justin Fields.
Like that's middle of the pack. It's bottom 10 quarterback play.
He is. He's absolutely a bottom 10 quarterback. And we're going to talk about a quarterback right now that I would take over Russell Wilson. I want you to rank Mac Jones for me, because for all of Mac Jones' flaws and all the shit we laughed at last year where I said Mac Jones is mids and all that, and I do think he's a mid-level quarterback, but you can see substantial improvement with a legitimate offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
You can. You just see it.
Where would I rank Mac Jones? I probably have him 17.
I was going to say
18 range.
I said 15 to 18.
That's respectful. I think 15 is a little bit too high. I think that narrative can change, because if he plays well and the Patriots lose, look at his weapons.
Bro, I was just going to say that, but Mac Jones has been playing well.
He's been playing well.
Despite lack of, his best skill player is Ramondre Stevenson, and Ramondre Stevenson's a dog. I'm not saying it like
Kendrick
that.
Bourne is probably his best wide receiver.
Bro, put Mac Jones on the Dolphins. Put Mac Jones on the Bengals. Put Mac Jones where he should be with the 49ers if they listen to Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
If you put Mac Jones on the 49ers, I guarantee you the 49ers would be the same exact way as they are with Brock Purdy, and probably a little bit better, because I think Mac Jones is better than Brock Purdy. Well, here's the thing. That's hard to judge, so I'll take that back.
It's hard to judge because Brock Purdy is balling out.
He looks good. I will, but he's in the same tier. Let's say that.
I would say that. Yeah, that's fair.
The 15 range.
Yeah,
but Brock Purdy right now is probably going to be ahead of him because of the success that he's seeing. But by the same token, dude, put Mac Jones on there with those weapons and Kyle Shanahan. I guarantee you Mac Jones ain't looking like that.
Mac Jones is looking awesome, man. Like he really is. I like I said, I probably have him in the 17, 18 mark. And I don't think that's low. I think it's pretty respectful. I think he would be a top 12 quarterback. And this is crazy to say this. I don't care. He would be a top 12 quarterback if he had a wide receiver 1. And I believe that.
That's what I'm saying.
Because he could throw to the tight end. He can get his running backs involved. He can get his other wide receivers involved. Like, him not having a wide receiver 1 is kind of teaching him to kind of like go through his progressions a little bit more, because now he's able to see the entire field where he's not keen on one guy. Now he could look off on other wide receivers because he doesn't have the DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Brown commanding the football type of characters on the outside. You know what I mean? Like those guys, those top wide receivers, like that just want the ball all the time and they're going to bark in your ear, make sure you get them football. He doesn't have that situation with New England. So I think he's able to progress a lot faster than other quarterbacks because he's able to go through his progressions naturally as a quarterback. So for me, like, I think if now that he's able to get this experience with no wide receiver, if you gave him a wide receiver one, I think he would be a lot better suited than just a regular quarterback who just was gifted a wide receiver one off the rip.
Absolutely.
If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Because he has like, he would be able to look off the wide receiver one to go for the wide receiver two and find the open man. The end of the game is to win the football game. That's why Tom Brady was so successful. He didn't care who got what. He never went to a game and was like, yo, you're going to get 9 catches. You're going to get 8 catches. He always went with the guy who was open. And that's what Mac Jones is doing. He's doing a fantastic job. He's playing mistake-free football. I know he had 2 picks, but look, he's going to make his mistakes, but at the same time, he's playing really good damn football. 547 passing yards against, in my opinion, 2 good opponents in the Eagles and the Dolphins. You can argue that they're 2 Super Bowl contenders, and he lost by 5 to the Eagles, and they lost by 7 to the Dolphins. Those are respectful losses.
He fought back in both of those games.
Those are respectful losses,
They
bro.
were down in both of those games big, and he fought back. It was 17-3 and 16-0.
Mike, he's just gotten better. He's just gotten better.
Because he has an offensive coordinator.
His completion percentage is higher. Look, 74% completion percentage. I mean, that's pretty damn good. And he was getting pretty harassed back there too. Like the Dolphins defensive line was coming after Mac Jones. But you know what? He got up and he made the next play. That's what he does. And I think he's doing awesome, man. There's a reason why they got rid of Bailey Zapp and the other kid. I don't know. I forget his name. When he was the flash
Cunningham.
Yeah, the flash in the pan.
Yeah, Cunningham.
Kid. Yeah. So like, there's a reason for that. And now we're kind of seeing, okay, like, yo, Patriots saw something. This guy turned the corner.
Yep.
So now, like, I'm curious to see how the season's going to play out for Mac.
Me too. I'm happy for Mac Jones. He deserves all this. But there's another quarterback in the AFC that we need to start having a conversation about. Justin Herbert.
Yeah, we do.
We need to have this conversation.
Yeah.
500 as a starter.
Yeah.
0-2. Weapons all over the field. What are we doing here? What are we doing here with Justin Herbert?
He's literally 500, like even 25 and 25.
What are we going to do here? Yeah. What are we going to do here? Because at some point, you can't just keep saying he's ultra talented.
Yeah.
He's super talented. He's a top 5 quarterback. He's a top 6 quarterback. Look at the talent. All that you can have all that talent. Give me the guy that wins.
Well, I read something from there was a report out there from an AFC scout. And he said that Justin Herbert is struggling to read defenses. Like he doesn't know how to read a defense. He has all the arm talent, and that's why everybody puts him in that elite category, but he's not an elite player because he doesn't know how to read a defense. So if you don't know how to read a defense, all your capabilities doesn't mean anything unless you're able to apply it to the football world, like where you're able to execute a play by looking off a receiver and then going to the next read. He's limiting it. So his inability to read the defenses, and he's getting confused throughout the game. That's what's limiting his ability. He has world of talent. Everybody knows that. The first time I saw him play against Brady, I was like, this kid is going to be fucking special.
Yeah.
And then, but how special can he be? His ceiling is himself. Like, you know what I mean? Like at that point, because if you can't read a defense in what's his year 4, right?
Yeah.
This is year 4 or 3. I think this is year 3.
No, his rookie year, this is year 4.
Yeah. Year 4. Like this is year 4 now. Like time's ticking, bro.
I don't know. I know a quarterback in the NFC East that goes by the name of Dak Prescott that gets way more shit than Justin Herbert for losing playoff games. This dude, he's a 500 quarterback. He's a 500 quarterback. He's not better than Tua right now. What logical argument can somebody make saying that Justin Herbert is better than Tua right now? What logical argument?
The only thing that people are going to say is that he has a stronger arm.
I don't give a fuck.
That's the intangible that people are going to compare the trait to.
Josh Allen has no, I can't really say that. I was going to say he has a strong arm to Patrick Mahomes, but who's better? But it's not always about it's. Again, is Justin Herbert more talented than Tua? Okay, yeah, he's more physically gifted. But Tua looks all right. He just threw for 466 yards against Justin Herbert in his crib.
Look, there's no excuses as to why they lost to the Titans. I mean, we're talking about Ryan Tannehill here, right?
And Treylon Burks, old D-Hop,
Yeah.
and Derrick Henry.
Well, Derrick
Not
Henry.
that he's a slouch. Derrick Henry's Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't mean
he
to say
actually
it like
didn't have a good game, though, Derrick Henry.
20 carries for 80 yards.
25 carries for 80 yards. That's less than 4 yards a carry. That's pretty inefficient for Derrick Henry's status. So to me, this game was a layup. I mean, what is going on with the Chargers? They started off hot, right? They were up like 21-10.
Not 21.
Can you do something for me? No, I'm sorry. They were up 14-10 at the half. And then all of a sudden the Titans they kept chipping away. They kept chipping away. Then eventually they just couldn't keep up and they lost in overtime.
And not for nothing, I don't want to hear, oh, they were missing Eckler. So what?
Yeah, for real.
So what?
Yeah, so what?
If Justin Herbert's that guy and running backs don't matter and you could plug anybody in, then why is that an excuse for Justin Herbert? This is what I'm talking about. Justin Herbert is so like physically gifted that we're finding every excuse in the book on why he's not winning games.
It's so real though, man. Like nobody really criticizes him.
Nobody. He's just floating under the radar. And that's what I'm talking about. And that's what's getting me so mad because it's like talent for talent, Justin Herbert is better than Tua. But when you look at gameplay, Tua is better than Justin Herbert.
Yeah. Like well, here's the thing. Herbert's playing well. He's not winning. He's not making the key plays when it matters most, like moving the chains on third down, punting.
But that goes into it, bro.
Absolutely. But
Tua's doing those things.
No, I get it. And the comparison that I was going to make was, look, Deshaun Watson was pretty bad last night, right?
Yeah.
And they lost. He's the reason why they lost the football game. But they're 1-1. Justin Herbert, he's like the runaway MVP. Like he's the MVP guy. Everybody bets him to be MVP. I had the Chargers in the Super Bowl. I bought the hype of Kellen Moore. I thought that they were going to be a lot better. But in reality, who cares if Kellen Moore's there? Because honestly, they look like they're the same offense, if not worse.
There's nothing different about them.
There's nothing different about them, dude. They're the same offense. So to me, like I just the addition of Kellen Moore, I don't think it mattered. In the end, I think all the hogwash of the offseason and all the hype was kind of bullshit. I actually think it was hogwash.
Right now, through 2 weeks, it looks like that.
It does.
It looks like that. Like there's no good reason for this team to be 0-2. There's not. If Justin Herbert's a top 5 quarterback and Kellen Moore's the best offensive coordinator in the game and Keenan Allen's a top 15 receiver and Austin Eckler's a top 3 running back, there's no excuse for this.
There is absolutely no excuse.
And week 1, you had Austin Eckler and you still lost.
You still lost.
So
puzzling. It's very puzzling. I'm concerned with this team, but I think they're the best team that has the best chance to turn it around.
I'm also concerned. You're concerned, but I'm concerned too, because I know a quarterback plays in the NFC East, worth 47 M's this year, was down 20-0 to the Cardinals. Now look, they came back and won, but Daniel Jones ain't it.
I'm so fucking mad they won. I'm so fucking mad because I had the Cardinals winning this game.
And the text message you sent me before the comeback happened, you want to laugh today? Yeah, what's up? Watch the Giants play football.
And they came back.
Regular.
That I should have shut the fuck up.
You put the kibosh on it,
I did.
I did it.
Next time I'm not going to do that.
That's what you
shut
did.
Up.
You did the same thing to the Warriors.
I did. I really did that. I forgot about that. Yo, that just fucked me up a little bit. Damn, I really did.
This team was a mortal lock.
Bro, that team... Bro, the Giants they're bad.
They stink.
I don't care that they came back. That like does nothing for me. It doesn't move the needle. Doesn't make me encouraged. It makes me discouraged because they were down 20-0 on the Arizona Cardinals with Josh Dobbs at quarterback.
A team who's trying to lose.
Yeah, right. That's my point. Like a team that's trying to lose, you're down 20-0. And the worst part about it is you just got blown out at home in the on the home opener 40-0, and you come out the next game and you're down 20-0 against the Arizona Cardinals, who are projected to be the first overall pick in next year's draft, and you're down 20-0 right after you got blown out 40-0 at home. You're a fucking disgrace.
You still came out flat.
You are a disgrace.
I'm 7 flat.
And without Saquon, they're in trouble. They are so screwed without Saquon the next 3 weeks.
But I thought running backs don't matter and that they should have paid Daniel Jones before they paid Saquon Barkley.
What do you mean?
That's so weird. I heard that all off season.
Well, the quarterback matters. The quarterback's usually the leader of your team. And that's what he did. He led the comeback. Like he was a leader for that team in that moment. Like I'll give him that. I'm giving that.
Bro, I'm so over this team.
I've been over this team, bro.
This team stinks, dude.
This team is garbage.
They really do. They stink. Daniel Jones stinks. The fact that they made the playoffs last year is something that I can't wrap my brain around because this team stinks.
Brian Daboll should have won all the awards.
The fact that he made Daniel Jones a $47 million man, won 9 games and got this team to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. It's the same old with Daniel Jones. No touchdown passes in the first game, 2 in the second game. He's on pace for 17 touchdown passes.
17 touchdowns. Yeah.
$47 million.
It doesn't make any sense.
What are you doing? All the Giants did was solidify that they will not be winning a Super Bowl over the next 4 years and that they're always going to be a bottom feeder in the NFC East for the next 4 years.
Yep. And
Darren Waller, enough with Darren Waller too.
Yeah.
It's over for bro.
It's over for him. That's what I'm saying. Like the stars of like the previous years, man, like we're watching the fall of like some really great players that were, like it's just crazy to me, bro. It's just the NFL has been like weirdly fun, but kind of like depressing at the same time. I don't get to watch Brady this year.
I also think too, it hasn't been as exciting because preseason, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
These teams are rusty.
That is true.
They are rust. It's all rust. Like look at Lamar Jackson. Now look, he looked like shit against the Texans. He balled out last week against the Bengals.
Yeah, he actually played pretty well. There was a couple throws I was like pretty impressed by.
Look at Josh Allen. Josh Allen plays like shit against the Jets. He comes out against the Raiders and does his thing. Although Josh Allen looked a little weird. Ultra conservative. Was not going for just a home run. If Josh Allen can do that consistently, he's up there with the best of them. Limit your turnovers.
Yeah.
Play efficient ball. You don't need 50 yards every play. Take the 3, take the 7, take the 9.
I seen that coming though, because after the press conference from week 1, like you could tell that he was really disappointed in himself.
Absolutely, bro. When you are as good as Josh Allen is, and you lose a game in that fashion, when everybody all off season knows that the reason that the Bengals have underperformed, if you want to say, for lack of a better term, is because he's turning the ball over so much. That stings. And you come out on opening night and lay an egg against your division rival.
Against a team that just lost their quarterback, deflated. the entire building. The game was wrapped up in a bow. You're up 13-3. Like that's a loss. That's gonna
now look.
That's gonna carry through the season. But that could propel this team too.
I was just about to tell you that those types of games for Josh Allen, that could put his head on straight and propel him to go. Now, I still can't believe the Jets beat them with Zach Wilson. That, like I said, that's a blip. However,
I agree.
We saw more of who the real Jets are when Dallas beat them down. And actually, beat them up. Zach Wilson was scary.
What did I say to you? I texted you earlier in the week. What you want to remind the people?
Honestly, don't know. Easiest game on the slate. I stand corrected.
Easiest game on the slate.
I stand corrected. Theories was so right.
Fam, this was the easiest game.
You're so amazing.
No, it wasn't even that, bro. I just look at Dallas's defensive line and look at the Jets offensive line, and it's a total mismatch.
It is so the Dallas defense is so overwhelming up front. They are ridiculous.
It scares me, bro.
They get into the backfield in less than 2 seconds.
Did you see Parsons in sack? Bro.
Lit him up.
Bro.
Let him up, dude. Let him up.
Bro, this guy's an animal.
Parsons the real deal.
And then he crawled. Just like I crawled in the bedroom. He was crawling on the field, bro. I was dead.
No fucking way.
No cap, bro. I was crawling just like him.
So do you think it was more...
It was reminiscent. I was reminiscent. I was like, oh, shit. I do that.
Clip. Do you think it was more about Dallas's defense, though, or do you think it was more Zach Wilson woes?
I think it's just more or less Dallas defense and the Jets' weakness. That was the whole game to me because Dak Prescott played pretty well. He could have played better, but I thought he played pretty efficient. He had a couple big third downs against a really good defense. So I was impressed by the Cowboys more or less.
I was impressed by them, but for me, it's 50-50.
I mean, look, the Jets got a good defense, and to put up that many points is pretty.
You saw what they did to the Bills. They had Josh Allen in no man's land.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying.
And then, but my thing is the Cowboys defense is awesome. Obviously, could be the best in the league. But also, Zach Wilson just looks lost out there, bro.
Yeah,
it's a shame for him. He just looks like a backup quarterback. He looks like when you put him in there, he's guessing on shit. There's no pre-snap reads. Well,
no, he's probably guessing wrong. He's probably reading it correctly, but maybe they're disguising it in a way that confuses the offense.
That's a good point. But like, he just don't look the part.
No,
he just doesn't look like an NFL quarterback.
He don't belong on the same field going against a Dallas defense.
He don't belong in the same field as Dak Prescott. If you're talking about quarterback,
I'm just saying.
I'm
just saying the whole mismatch is Zach Wilson versus Dallas defense. That's a mismatch. He had a great throw. I'll give him that to Garrett Wilson. Like that was a beautiful throw.
He has the ability.
Threaded the needle right into the middle of the defense, and then Garrett Wilson just did the rest, and like nobody's catching him.
There's plays that Zach Wilson can make from time to time where it's like, all right, you see it.
Yeah, like that throw.
You see the juice.
Yeah.
But then there's just times where it's just like it's more head scratchers than juice.
Yeah, it's few and far between his good plays versus his bad ones. So like I don't know. Dallas is really good, man.
They are.
They're legit.
I want to see them. So we'll talk about this when we get to our picks. Whatchamacallit? What were we just talking about? Oh, Zach Wilson and poor quarterback play. Deshaun Watson alert. Steelers beat the Browns last night. They escaped the Browns.
Sick about it.
Nick Chubb's out for the year off of that horrible injury. That was so sad because I'm a big Nick Chubb fan.
Yeah.
They're saying, I was reading a report on Twitter that it could be career ending. They're saying they think he dislocated his knee, tore his LCL, his PCL, and his MCL.
Damn. Well, think about the timeline. Like a year from now, it will be the start of the season. He'll be 28 in December. So then by the time the next season starts and you're pretty much end of the season, he's going to be 29 years old. We see how the landscape of the NFL, how they treat the running backs. This could be the end of the road for Nick Chubb. And not for nothing, he got his money. Why risk another injury like that? Because this happened in 2015 as well. So why risk another severe injury and hurt yourself long term?
You got your money.
You got your money, bro.
Yeah.
Like
go live.
Make
sure you don't end up in a wheelchair for the rest of your life.
However, the warrior spirit, like inside a person, that's not gonna fly.
No, he's getting surgery right now saying I'm coming back.
But is it a smart move, like long term? Like he got his money. What is he looking?
I guess it depends.
Is he looking for another payday though? Because he's not gonna get it.
I guess it depends on, for me with him, I guess it depends on the severity of the injury.
Right.
What is it?
Well, if he tore like three ligaments.
That's what I'm saying. If he tore 3 ligaments and dislocated his knee, it's over.
It's over. If I'm the Browns, I'm moving on.
Yeah.
At that point. I'm going with Jerome Ford. He's heat.
Jerome Ford is really good.
He's heat.
You know who's not really good? Deshaun Watson.
He's really bad.
It's over.
You know what, man?
He missed too much time from the game. He's playing worse this year than he did last year.
Yeah.
And all that money's guaranteed.
He makes me so mad because like this Browns team is fucking damn good. And they're going to sputter and they're going to fall short because of Deshaun Watson. That's what breaks my heart because this defense is fucking good.
We talked about this and we were saying, like, you were saying how you got the Browns as your sleeper team. And I said the Browns could be really good. And their biggest question mark is the only player on that team that shouldn't have a question mark because of his pay.
That's what we said. Yeah.
And you look at it and it's like, he's the problem. That Deshaun Watson that was in Houston, I keep saying it. That elusive guy is not coming back. The game is too fast for somebody to miss 2 years of football.
Mm-hmm.
There is an adjustment period, but this is basically his first season starting in September in 3 years.
I gotta be honest with you. I don't know where he's throwing the football at because I saw throws that were underthrown. They were over the dude's head by 20 yards.
He threw the one ball out of bounds. You actually texted me and said he's out here throwing out souvenirs.
He is. He's throwing out souvenirs.
15 yards out of bounds.
Dude, it wasn't even close. With the game on the line.
Yeah, that's what it was.
The game was on the line. It's like this guy is just not making it happen for the Browns. He is really the reason why they're going to hold this team back because this defense, man, I'll tell you what, the Browns defense, look out. They are a damn good football team. And it's just a shame that Deshaun Watson is just really kind of like ruining the mood and the vibe of this team just because of the way he's playing. Look, 22 of 40, 235 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. The pick was the first play of the game. You cannot start off on the road with a pick six. If you start off on the road with a pick six, the crowd's into it. The momentum is on the home team. Now you're in a hole. Look, they responded with a field goal, which was good. They responded. But you cannot allow you to put your team into such a big hole like that when you are on the road on Monday Night Football against a Steelers divisional round divisional opponent. Like, you just can't do it, man. Like, it's suicide. It's right there. Is like you're already a step behind.
The Browns they lost their best player, Nick Chubb, and that sucks. Their best offensive player, and it's Deshaun Watson's not carrying that team. No. And look, Jerome Ford could be really good. I think he's going to be really good, but it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
That concludes the week 2 review. Let's do some week 3 preview before we get into our picks and then get out of here. Chargers at the Vikings. Vikings opened up at -1. The game is now a pick. Both teams are trying to avoid 0-3 because if you go 0-3, you're not making the playoffs, which is wild considering the success of both teams last year and what both quarterbacks have to work with. Which team do you think is under more pressure heading into that game?
Chargers. They cannot go 0-3. They cannot go 0-3. They are way too talented, and they are pretty much a lot of people's preseason pick to go pretty far into the playoffs and possibly win that division. To go 0-3 here would be a massive hole, especially with that division with the Chiefs. So I feel like this would be devastating for them to go 0-3. The Chargers are under the most pressure here.
Yeah, it's not even a question because here's the thing. The Vikings can move off for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
Justin Herbert just got his deal.
Yep.
And again, we talk about this all the time. Bro, this dude has so many weapons. There's no excuse.
There's no way.
There is no excuse anymore. And here's the thing. It moved to a pick. So right now, knowing how that works, I kind of like the Vikings because you're supposed to bet the original favorite. And that's crazy to me because there's no way I go into that game betting the Vikings and feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But I should,
right?
Because the Chargers haven't shown me shit. But again, Justin Herbert's physical ability and his ceiling is always going to put blinders on when you bet the Chargers.
Agreed.
It's almost like an irrational bet.
Yeah. There's something about the logo that makes me want to bet him too. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know. I just feel comfortable.
It's heat.
It is fire.
He's a bolt.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't even know. I honestly, I can't even pick this game. Here's the thing. If the Chargers start out 0-3, Brandon Staley might not make week 5. Seriously.
Who's going to be their interim coach?
I think they would give it to Kellen Moore.
Okay.
I think they would go with a younger offensive head coach, a guy that has shown that the team can put up points. Brandon Staley's a defensive guy.
Yeah.
Brandon Staley has made questionable decisions before. I said they should have fired him that year when he was going forward on 4th and 3 on his own 30.
Yeah.
I said that. I said Brandon Staley should be fired.
Yeah. That was a really bad
because he was a dumbass. He was doing stupid shit. You're missing play. They missed the playoffs because of that.
Yep.
So, man, I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going the Vikings here. The Vikings are home. The Vikings are on more rest. The Chargers just traveled to Tennessee. Now they got to travel to Minnesota. I'm taking the Vikings at home to beat the Chargers and drop them to 0-3. Damn. Straight up. I really am. I think that's Justin Herbert goes to under 500 as a starting quarterback. Brandon Staley's on the hottest seat of all time, and I'm going to bet him to be the first head coach fired. And that's where I'm at. I'm taking the Vikings at a pick or -1 to win that game.
I love that pick because I'm going the same way. I love the Vikings here. This is going to be a Viking spot, and you always say about the original favorite. I'm taking the Vikings here. I got them the Vikings 24-23.
And here's the craziest thing, bro.
They're going to win on a last second or last drive Justin Jefferson touchdown.
And here's this.
That's what's going to happen.
The craziest thing is that line is fishy to me.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson, Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen.
Coming off 2 losses in a row.
Do you know if Eckler's playing?
I think Vegas might be off this team, bro. Because they might be losing a lot of money off this team.
They might know.
They may be losing a lot of money on this team.
The Vikings are winning this game.
The Vikings are winning.
And the Chargers are going to be the hottest story in football because they're going to be 0-3 with a load of talent.
I really am with you on this one.
Battle of 2-0. Now we're getting to some good teams. Eagles are -6 at the Mayfield Buccaneers.
The
Mayfield Buccaneers. Has Baker Mayfield's success, albeit through 2 games, changed your perception on him at all? Or do you still think is it still more of like a wait and see because it's only 2 weeks? And granted, he has played well, but
I'm a wait and see kind of guy. The Bucs schedule is tough. So I want to see how he plays against like a prominent opponent with the Eagles. Then I can give my judgment on him. But to me, like I view Baker Mayfield as, I don't know, he's a middle of the pack quarterback. I would say he's in the 20s, 23, 20 to 26.
I said he hovers 20.
Yeah, like that's a fair assessment. But like he could creep into that if the Bucs are damn, if they win this football game, he'll be creeping up my charts because to beat the Eagles and go 3-0, like I had the Bucs pretty much as a top 5 draft pick next year.
We looked over their schedule and look, when you had your groomsmen here, when you were asking everybody to be in your line, we were making a joke when we were talking out back and you were saying, who do you think's going to win the NFC South? And I said the Buccaneers. Now I was half joking
and half fried,
but I mean, look, dude, if Baker Mayfield competes or wins that division, oh my God, I'll be so happy for the dude.
Yeah, me too.
I'll be so happy for
he would earn a lot of money.
Oh my God, yeah.
A lot of money.
Oh my God, yeah. But the Bucs aren't bad. They have talent.
Right.
And I always said this with Baker, man. He's not gonna. It's hard to say that because he did change the Browns. But I'm just saying, like Baker Mayfield isn't gonna go to the Panthers and change the whole franchise. He's not that dude. But if you put him on a team with competent weapons, Baker Mayfield can play. Some of the throws he's making underneath, sidearm, he just looks like he's good.
He just looks like, like we said it earlier.
Confident.
He looks confident, looks comfortable. He looks like he's home. It looks like he can play football with no distractions, nothing going on. It's just football, like that's kind of what it looks like. And I think like to credit to the Tampa Bay staff too, like for taking on a quarterback like Baker Mayfield.
Tom Brady changed the entire culture of that organization.
Yeah.
Because the whole team essentially is still there.
Right.
And they all understand that.
Right. Yeah.
They know what Tom Brady brought to the table.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I view Baker probably is the same. Like I'm not a Baker lover.
Yeah.
But I'm not a hater either. Like I think he could play. I think he's a starter in this league.
Absolutely, he's a starter.
Is he going to blow you away? No. But he's going to make the right plays and he's going to play hard and he's going to play for his teammates. He's going to have leadership skills that are going to be there. It's going to show on the sidelines. It's going to resonate throughout the locker room. Like, I feel like there is something to there like with that because he's a fiery guy. And when you have the defense, the way the Bucs play defense, like, when you have guys like Devin White, Shaq Barrett, Winfield, and those, hard hitting guys, they feed off of that shit. So like, I feel like, that's just, he's just the right piece for him right now.
And I think too, with all that, like you just said, like he's got Mike Evans out here going for $170.
Yeah, Mike Evans ain't no slouch.
Like, come on, man.
No, yo, Mike Evans he ain't no slouch.
He's not, bro. And Baker's supporting him.
Yeah.
Baker's supporting a wide receiver 1 in fantasy right now.
Yeah.
So it's like
everybody thought that Mike Evans was going to fall off a cliff.
They did
because Baker Mayfield was going to be quarterback.
Everybody was dead ass
and
wrong.
he was dropping in the fantasy drafts. Like Mike Evans, you were getting him like 8. Round 8 to 6 to 8, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
This guy is like a certified stud, man. So it's crazy.
We talked about this when we were ranking the top 10 wide receivers or whatever, and I just said like Mike Evans is like the weirdest wide receiver I've ever seen because his stats are dominant.
Yeah, but it's funny. Like he's like the perfect model of NFL like stardom because he didn't get paid before the season. Like he wanted a contract, he wanted a long-term contract, and he wanted his money. He didn't get paid, but you know what? He didn't bitch out. He didn't sit out in training camp. He didn't do any of that shit. What he did was he put his head down. He continued to practice, continued to be with the team. And now he's balling out right now. And he's looking like he deserves his money. So when it comes time, he's going to get his money. And he's going to get more of that than he would have gotten before the season.
Yep.
So credit to Mike Evans, man. Like that's how you be a teammate. Yeah, you didn't get the contract you wanted before the season. It didn't work out, but you're still showing up for your teammates. Like that tells me everything I need to know about Mike Evans and his character. This guy's fucking awesome, man.
I want to move to the Eagles side of the ball before we give our predictions. Dallas Goedert I want to talk about his lack of involvement. Do you think it's the scheme with the offensive coordinator, or do you think it's more the quarterback? Because I don't know what's going on here. I have him in fantasy.
Yeah.
He's non-existent. And like you said it earlier, he's running 2-yard slants. Where are the posts? Where are the seam routes?
Right.
What's going? I don't understand it. I don't.
Well,
understand
it's also a new coordinator, so I'm guessing he's trying to get comfortable with his weapons and this, that, the third. But like, you got to speed it up, dude. Like, if you watch last year's film, Goddard was doing that on the regular.
That's why I drafted him.
Yeah, and Goddard doing well opens up the the space for AJ Brown and Devontae Smith and all your other weapons, because if he's taking up the linebackers and he's commanding attention, now the coverage kind of shifts a little bit towards the middle of the field. So now you got to respect Goddard. You got to respect everything that he brings to the table. So that opens up a lot of lanes for AJ Brown and Devontae Smith to do their thing, and they can do their thing regardless of Goddard. But having Goddard be successful in this offense is really major for him moving forward.
It's a big part of the offense.
Absolutely.
And I think I'm going to guess schematically here.
Sure.
But the only thing that makes me a little bit worried is Jalen Hurts did miss him week 1 against the Patriots for 2 walk-in tutties.
Mm-hmm.
Walk-in tutties. And on another one on a go route when he was wide open. All he had to do was float it, and he would have probably gained 40, 50 yards.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what's going on. Again, I'm not panicking because I think the ship will right.
The plays are there.
Yeah, they're there. It's just
they're there to be made. It's just the quarterback didn't read them, and that happens. Like, there's a lot of guys that are just streaming down the sidelines, and the quarterback's looking one way, and they get sacked.
The other thing is, too, is Jalen, I don't know if it's because the coaches told him to peel back. He doesn't look like he's running with as much intensity as he did last year.
Yeah.
Like, Jalen Hurts is a power runner.
Right.
You don't have to go and run over a linebacker, but there are times where you can break and run. You still need to run to be effective. You are a quarterback that you need and use your legs.
Right. But you also want to protect the quarterback too.
I get it. But if that's part of your game, that's part of your game.
I know, but the way the coaches are coaching the players now, it's just to get down. The safety matters.
Yeah.
That's what they're teaching. Look at Tua. Concussed twice. Now they're questioning his longevity of his career.
That was different though. Like, Tua doesn't know how to fall.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is those plays can still happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can get smoked at any moment in time. So they're telling you to get down to avoid those kind of big hits. Because if I'm paying you $250 million, I don't want you to get hurt because I'm invested in you. I want you to play your game, but I don't want you to get hurt. So you got to be smart and you got to be a playmaker at the same time. That's why, like, I hate the dynamic of that, because when you are playing sports, it's all instincts. Like, you're telling me I got to slide when I know I could probably jump over this guy and get more yards. But the competitive spirit in me in the moment is I'm going to jump over this guy.
Yeah.
I'm not sliding because that's just my game. That's how I play.
That's what I do.
But so to train somebody to get down and slide in the moment, that's tough. That's like almost like a brainwash to a degree.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why you can kind of see the conflicting moments between quarterbacks. They want to slide and then they don't. Like, I just feel like there's a confusion moment and like confusion factor in that split second where they're trained one way, but their instincts are telling them the other way. If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. It is.
It's like psychological.
It is. It's a game, but
Yeah,
you can also get hurt that way.
That's what I'm saying. You're correct. And that's where, like, that's where the dynamic of that just doesn't sit well with me, because, like, you can't, it's like you're turning off a switch that shouldn't be turned off.
Who wins? Who goes to 3-0? And who covers the spread?
I got the Eagles here. I think the Eagles cover. I think they dominate up front. We said earlier that the Bucs don't have a center. I think Baker Mayfield's going to make a couple mistakes here. The Eagles are pretty ferocious. I like the Eagles here to win. However, I will say I think Tampa's going to cover, and here's why. Their defense is outstanding. I think the way the Eagles are playing offense right now doesn't really sit well with the matchup. So I think the Eagles are going to struggle to score some points again. But I think the Eagles do win this football game. I got them winning 20-17.
All right. So hold on, I'm checking something real fast. So I have the Eagles. Look, I'm scared of this game.
Me too.
I'm very scared of this game. The Eagles play the Commanders next week.
Nobody's giving the Bucs a shot to win this game.
The only thing I will say that makes me feel better about the Eagles is that they're coming off of 10 days of rest. So they have the rest advantage. However, the Buccaneers played the bum-ass Bears. So they were rested too, because that wasn't a dogfight. I'm going to pick the Eagles here, but the Bucs are going to keep it close. I think the Eagles are on upset alert, and they need to be very careful.
Yep.
But I will not be shocked if the Buccaneers beat them on Monday night. I hope they don't. But I just this game scares the shit out of me with the division game looming next week against the Commanders.
Yeah, Commanders are going to be.
It worries me. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm misreading it. I don't know.
No, I don't know. I'm with you, man. I think this game's gonna be a lot closer.
This is gonna be a close game.
Yeah,
this is gonna be a close.
I'll
game.
take the 6 points with the Bucks, though.
Absolutely, so am I all day long.
Why not?
Especially if it goes to 6.5. I'm
the home team. I had the defense. I just need Baker Mayfield to make me a couple plays.
Yeah.
I think that could work.
Rams at Bengals. Bengals are -2. Do you think? Well, apparently Joe Burrow is questionable. He might not play.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and say this real quick. The Bengals are losing this football game. This is my psychotic upset of the week. The Rams are winning this football game. The Rams.
Is it an upset?
It is an upset, in my opinion. Well, the Bengals are they're favored. So this is my psychotic upset of the week. I got the Rams beating the Bengals in Cincinnati. To me, Puka Nuka, whatever his name is, this guy's a beast. Kieran Williams is running the football down people's throats. They have an offense. It looks like Matthew Stafford is still Matthew Stafford. Sean McVay is still there. Their defense is playing pretty good. They have Aaron Donald. I expect them to absolutely destroy the Bengals offensive line here. Aaron Donald's going to have himself a day. And I think the Bengals are going 0-3. And I think there's a big panic button in Cincy.
Do you think, are you more surprised by the Bengals' slow start or the Rams' start?
I'm more surprised by the Rams' start. I didn't think the Rams were going to be this good. I didn't think that you can lose Cooper Kupp and plug a guy in that 5th round draft pick and have the same kind of production. And that's where I'm like, wow, that good for you. Like, you guys found a great player to fit your system. And then you got Kieran Williams, and is also a rookie or a second-year player, playing outstanding football, completely kicked Cam Akers to the curb. Now he's looking to be traded.
Can we stop with the Cam Akers experiment
I've been
too?
done.
Yeah. He should be non-drafted moving forward.
Moving forward, dude.
Every year. It's been the same thing with this dude for 3 years.
Yeah. So I just think the Rams are going to win this football game. I think they're playing better football right now, and there's too many question marks with Cincinnati, especially with the health of Joe Burrow, for me to even pick them and feel comfortable about picking them, even though they're home. I like the Rams here.
I like the Rams too. The only thing that scares me is that weird stat about the teams after they play the 49ers defense. They're like 1-15 after.
Oh, I get it.
But Zach Taylor is a disciple of Sean McVay.
But the Bengals also came off a game against the Ravens.
That's fair.
In fairness.
Zach Taylor worked under Sean McVay. Sean McVay taught him everything, knows his tendencies. The Rams are a lot better than anyone predicted.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody. They legitimately could have won that game last week. They went toe-to-toe with them the entire game.
Yep.
That was a good game.
Very good game. I was surprised by that.
Sean McVay and the Rams fixed their offensive line in an offseason.
Yep.
One offseason, and that offensive line they were fine.
They were awesome.
They were more than competent. I think the Bengals are in for a long season. Because Joe Burrow is not healthy. And if you don't have Joe Burrow healthy, the backup is Jake Browning.
Mm-hmm.
I never even heard of the dude.
Yeah, me either.
He's trash. So it's like they're not going anywhere without Joe Burrow. And the version of Joe Burrow that they've had in the first 2 games, they're not going anywhere with either.
Nope.
So I'm also going with the Rams here. That's not my psychotic upset of the week, but I'm taking the Rams all day long. All day. All right. Week 3 slate, and then we're getting out of here. Giants at 49ers. 49ers -10.5.
I got the 49ers here both ways. To me, this is a mismatch on both ends of the football. The Giants are about to get mollywopped again.
Me too. This is my iconic lock of the week.
That mollywop.
This is lock of the week?
Lock
Okay.
of the week. The
Awesome.
49ers -10.5 the Giants are not – they're going to lose by at least 17
And
points.
the Giants are coming off an emotional win. I love that pick.
They're going to get absolutely demolished.
Yeah.
Colts at Ravens. Ravens -7.5.
I got the Ravens here, but I'm not comfortable about taking the points here because I don't know the status of Anthony Richardson. He actually been playing pretty well. I'll give him that. So I'll take the Ravens both ways, though.
Same. Even Gardner Minshew or Anthony Richardson, I don't think it really matters.
Yeah.
For me. Titans at Browns. Browns -3.5.
I'm going to take the Browns here. I just think their defense is going to cause a lot of problems with the Titans' offense. They can shut down the run. They can shut down the pass. They get after the quarterback. I think this is a mismatch. I think the Browns win here, and I think they win by at least 7. So I'll take the points with it.
I'm taking the Titans outright on the money line. I think Mike Vrabel's defense. I think Mike Vrabel and his defense will be able to cause problems for Deshaun Watson. I don't think Deshaun Watson's a very good quarterback anymore. And I think that, you know how I always talk about emotion?
He's seen Deshaun Watson too in that division.
Yeah.
Houston. So good point.
You know how I always talk about like emotional wins and stuff like that? I think losing Nick Chubb like that is about as deflating as the Aaron Rodgers loss.
But the way that Jerome Ford came in and
it
stepped
could be
in,
inspiring.
I feel like it was
you.
kind of like an inspiring kind of thing. Like it's like, all right, well, man, yeah, we lost Chubb, but not all is lost.
Yeah.
So like I feel like that is like a kind of like a bright spot for them.
It could be, but I like the Titans in this spot.
Okay.
Falcons at Lions. Lions -3.
The Lions here both ways. The Falcons, to me, they just can't get their guys the ball. It's weird. I like their running style though with Bijan and Tyler Algier, but to me, the Falcons, I just don't think they're going to keep up with the Lions here at home. I like the Lions both ways.
So do I. I think the Lions come out and smoke them, to be honest. Saints at Packers.
This is my psychotic lock of the week with the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are going to beat the Saints here.
Iconic lock?
Yes, this is my iconic lock of the week. I have the Saints. I have the Packers beating the Saints here at home, and I'll take the 2 points as well. The Packers are playing phenomenal football. Jordan Love is playing great. Derek Carr is prone to make mistakes. I think he's going to make a mistake here, and I think the Packers are going to win. They're going to cover at home.
I got the Packers both ways, but this is a game that I am watching because I think a lot of people might be on the Packers, so I want to watch that line movement. But Saints are going outdoors, short week. They got to
feel
travel.
that way about the Saints too, though. The Saints they're 2-0, like unexpectedly, I guess you could say, possibly to a degree. But yeah, I mean they're off to a good start, just as good as the Packers. Just the home team to me is going to be the difference.
Hopefully, well, if Aaron Jones returns, I got the Packers too.
Yeah,
which he should. Texans at Jags. Jags -9.5.
I got the Jags here, and I got them both ways. They should smoke the Texans this week.
They are going to smoke them.
The Jags didn't score a touchdown against the Chiefs. And that's where I'm like, damn, what happened? You know, Calvin Ridley had a pretty awful game, 2 catches on 8 targets for, I don't know what he had, like 40 yards or something. Like he was pretty non-existent. So like for me, like I think that's going to change here. I think the Jags are going to have a field day on the Texans.
So do I. I think they're going to pass all over them, and it's going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Broncos at Dolphins. Dolphins -6.5.
6.5 is very low. So I'm going to take the Dolphins here, but I'm going to take the Broncos with the points.
This is my psychotic upset of the week.
Wow.
The Broncos, the entire world is going to bet the Dolphins.
Wow.
And I think the Broncos are going to be desperate for a win because if they lose this game, Russell Wilson won't be the quarterback within 3 weeks.
I didn't see that coming. I got to be honest with you because earlier you were talking about Tua being better than Justin Herbert, and now you got him losing to bum-ass Russ.
Teams, look.
That's crazy to me.
It can happen. You could have letdown games. You could have letdown games. And I have a weird feeling about this game. And it's desperation. The Broncos need this game. This is an absolute must-win game for the Broncos, for Sean Payton and Russell Wilson.
It is, but
it's an absolute must-win.
But what history do we have behind pressure between these two competent? The
history,
a coach between Sean Payton and Russell Wilson in the past 5 years in pressure situations. What have they done?
See, I'm following my history.
Oh, that's what you're doing.
And when I got my eye on these games, I feel it. I feel this
I
game.
Would be shocked.
And I hate Sean Payton and I hate Russell Wilson. I am telling you, dude, I love this game for the Broncos. I just do, dude. This is as must win as you can get in week 3.
Let me ask you a question, though. You know how hot it is going to be in fucking Miami? It is going to be scorching hot. The sun is beating on the opposing sideline. That's a disadvantage, bro.
It is.
And you're traveling across the country too.
I know.
Look, I like it. I like it for the sole purpose of everybody betting it. Where does the line have to move for you to even be even more confident in your pick? Like if the line moves down to 5.5 to 5, or to go up to 7.5, like where do you stand if the line moves?
If it goes to 7.5, I would double down. if the line goes up, because that's just telling me that
Everybody's taking
all the money's
Dolphins.
pouring in on the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And not for nothing, the Dolphins are a good team.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Jalen Waddle is also concussed. He might be out. So you put Patrick Surtain on Jalen Waddle. Who else is Tua throwing the ball to? Also something to look at. Patrick Surtain could handle Tyreek Hill.
Braxton Berrios,
he's all right.
He's all right.
Yeah, he's all right. I will say that. He's all right. But I'm just saying, this is my favorite. This is my psychotic upset of the week.
I'd be shocked.
Broncos
That
will
would
beat
be
the
great.
Dolphins.
Great.
Patriots -2.5 at the Jets.
2.5 seems a little weird and wonky. I'm going to take the Patriots here both ways.
Me too.
They're just a better team
Patriots get them
right now.
Bills -6.5 at the Commanders.
Wow. I'm going to take the Bills money line here, but I'm going to take the Commanders with the points because I actually think the Commanders are really sneakily good, bro.
So do I. I'm taking, however, I'm taking the Bills both ways. I think the Commanders were in Denver across the country. It took all their energy out of them to overcome an 18-3 deficit. And I think that Sean McDermott is a defensive-minded head coach and can cause problems for Sam Howell, who's a young quarterback. Panthers at Seahawks. Seahawks -5.5.
I got the Seahawks here at home. They need to win this game, in my opinion.
Seahawks, they're going to dominate.
They need
Seahawks -5.5 is one of the easiest bets on the slate.
Yeah, because I'm not Bryce Young is good, but he's just not developed yet.
No, and they don't have wide receivers.
Thielen had a good game. Surprisingly, he had a good game.
I know.
But he had a good game early. Then he got he was phased out of the game or something. It just, I don't know. Adjustments that matter. So to me, I'm with you on that one. I'll take Pete Carroll at home.
Cowboys -12 at the Cardinals.
I got the Cowboys both ways. I think the Cowboys are going to stomp them by 20.
I'm taking the Cowboys both ways, but I would not be shocked if the Cardinals were able to cover it. And let me tell you why. The Cowboys play the 49ers next week.
Oh, okay. I see. Look ahead game.
Here's the thing. This is the most ultimate trap game. But the Cardinals really stink. And Dallas's defense is really like that. So I don't think there's a scenario where the Cardinals can win. 12 points is a lot. Nah, bro. I don't know. I'm gonna take the Cardinals with 12. I'm taking the Cardinals with 12. And it's for the sole reason that I know Cowboys have that game circled next week against the 49ers.
Yeah. But you know what's funny about that you mentioned that is this is a good measuring stick game for the Cowboys, though, because now it's going to see how this locker room is. Are they a 1 week team? They're all about going 1-0, or are they actually really circling the other games? This is the game where they should fucking absolutely destroy the Cardinals. This
should be a 35-6 game.
Easy. So I'm expecting a blowout. If the Cardinals are close to winning this game, I'm concerned about the Cowboys because now I'm the goal is to go 1-0 every week. I'm thinking this team is a little bit differently. They seem like they have a little bit different energy about them this year.
Agreed.
So that's why I'm I'd be shocked if the Cardinals actually covered this because I just think Dallas is really focused.
If the Cardinals were to cover, would you lean more towards is this really the same old with the Cowboys?
I mean, look, if they cover what if the Cardinals lose by 11, I'm not gonna be
no, I'm saying if they won 28-21.
Oh, I'd be whoa, what the fuck's going on?
Would you kind of look sideways?
I would, but then I would look forward to the game with San Fran.
I cannot wait for that game.
Yeah, that's going to be
49ers
awesome.
Cowboys is going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. But I would be concerned depending on how the Cowboys play because that's going to determine the leadership locker room in that in Dallas.
Yeah.
That's going to determine what kind of locker room they have.
Yep.
Are you a week to week kind of team? I don't know. Who knows? But I think that they should fucking absolutely kill this team.
Yep. Bears at Chiefs. Chiefs -13.
Oh, I got the Chiefs both ways.
Not even a question.
It's not a question. The Chiefs defense is not talked about. They are playing outstanding football. I know Chris Jones came back, but damn, they are playing so good. It's insane. They didn't give up a touchdown against the Jags, and we all think the world of the Jaguars.
Yep.
They got Calvin Ridley. They got Christian Kirk. They got Sunshine at quarterback. They got
Sunshine.
they got ETN. This team is fucking loaded. So the fact that they didn't score a touchdown on that defense, that's not being talked about. So to me, I'm going to take the Chiefs here both ways.
Me too. This is another easy game on the slate. The Bears they might not score. They might get blanked. I'm dead ass serious. They stink.
You should sprinkle on it. I wonder what the odds are. It's probably
I might
crazy.
actually
Yeah.
shut him out.
Shut him out.
You know what I am going to bet? I'm going to sprinkle on it. Chiefs defense to score a touchdown.
Ooh.
For show.
You should do that and take the Cardinals with the points. And then take your upset with
The Broncos.
the Broncos.
That'll be a big plus.
That would be
big plus money.
major plus. Just
I'm
put
gonna
this $10
check that out.
on it and see
Yeah.
what happens.
I'll check it out. Last one before we get out of here. Steelers at Raiders. Pick.
I'm going to go Steelers here, but I'm not confident in this pick. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to go Steelers here out of respect, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders won this game.
I was initially saying Steelers. I'm going with the Raiders. Now look, it's a coaching mismatch. Them Steelers look like some shit. They do.
Yeah.
They look discombobulated, and it's very odd for a Mike Tomlin run team. But their offense is terrible.
I totally agree.
Their offense is ass.
But if there's a week where they're going to get it together, it's going to be the Raiders. Just like the Bills did.
Yeah, I'm taking the Raiders because I like Jimmy G.
Okay.
Straight up. And who's covering Devontae Adams?
We'll find out.
We will find out. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us for episode 174. We will be back next Wednesday at 8 p.m. sharp. Theories, take it away.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate all the love, support in the comments. If you guys haven't done so already, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on YouTube. We are also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeart, Megaphone, Stitcher,
and all that other shit.
Also, follow us on all of our social platforms as you do not want to miss our daily content on X, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And we will see you guys next Wednesday at P&I, baby. Enjoy week 3.
I'm caps lock different. It's facts, not fiction. Said I black out for real, then the track gone missing. If it's cap, I'm dipping. We ain't talking about a move, then it's flatline finished. When I spaz, I'm grinning. Put a peel off in the Sadies and I pass by spinning. It's perks with this life, but I don't have my skinnage. Took a quick trip and now I'm back home winning. And I see they eyes pop like I snack on spinach. Pull up to the spot, she tryna grab my digits. I'm already 8 shots, a Henny past my limit. Here you go. Hazards with a dash full of tickets. I'ma act like I don't see them. I got bad eye vision. Y'all can't pass my scrimmage. While y'all tripping, it's Aruba.